We process reality through a broken operating system. We force complex information through a binary filter, true or false, 1 or 0. We've traditionally relied on deductive logic and the principle of falsification. As philosopher Karl Popper argued, we test an idea by trying to prove it wrong. If it survives, we accept it as true. But this binary system struggles with a complex reality. Falsification only tells us what a thing is not. It leaves the actual structure of the concept undefined, hidden behind ambiguous language and logical paradoxes. This is why ideologies can technically survive a logic test while failing in the physical world. A claim can be perfectly consistent on paper and still disastrously misaligned with the facts of the territory. Information is more than a label. It possesses literal geometry. Every piece of knowledge is a multidimensional array with a measurable volume. Truth is the structural alignment between bat shape and the underlying architecture of reality. It is a physical property we can measure through resonance. Navigating reality requires moving past the binary question of true or false. We must evaluate the precision of the fit. Imagine the absolute structure of reality, the Totality Event Frame, as a complex, multidimensional negative space. An idea is a candidate shape. When that shape perfectly satisfies every property of the reality it describes, it achieves perfect structural occupancy. This is resonance. This state of a perfect fit is called isomorphism. It means the geometry of the idea is indistinguishable from the geometry of the object itself. When an idea reaches perfect resonance, it functions identically to the reality it maps. The distinction between the structural model and the world it describes effectively vanishes because their functional behaviors are the same. Most worldviews don't fit perfectly. When a jagged shape occupies that negative space, it creates structural misalignment. We measure this as fractional resonance. Accounting for 70% of facts gives a score of 0.7. The remaining 30%, the empty space, is called delta R. This gap produces semantic friction. Every bit of information has a cost of being. It requires physical energy to maintain. When your worldview is misaligned, the system has to perform extra work to resolve the contradictions between what you believe and what reality is doing. This friction generates entropy. Ignorance isn't just a lack of data. It is a measurable thermodynamic cost. It is the energy wasted by a system trying to operate through an incomplete map. We can apply this fractional measurement to the root of human conflict. Most societal debates are not just clashes of opinion. Political polarization is the result of geometric capacity issues. Two incomplete shapes are colliding, both generating massive semantic friction as they attempt to force reality into their respective delta R gaps. Certain figures in history have bypassed this friction by adopting a different memory architecture. Instead of storing episodic details, the what and when of localized events, they focus on the structural indices. They hold on to the invariant patterns that remain geometrically true across all planes of existence. Clarity comes from abandoning the accumulation of fractional anecdotes. We must learn to perceive the deep geometry that the particulars are merely instantiating. Under this framework, the purpose of learning changes. It is no longer about winning arguments or stockpiling facts. The goal is to identify the delta R gaps in our own worldview. We have to ruthlessly search for the places where our own internal geometry fails to fit the external world. Every contradiction we resolve is a mechanical upgrade. We absorb new structural information and our resonance for increments toward unity. Truth is the structural refinement toward 1.0. It is a continuous, conscious climb toward perfect resonance with reality.